Hey everyone, Jessica here with another layout for the ThermOWeb design team, and today I am pairing this up with a challenge by Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, which is to use a pin from our Pinterest board and make a layout that inspired you from it. So I'm using this layout by Crafty Cat 9, I believe is her Instagram handle. It's Cat Benjamin, and she does some amazing layouts, so be sure to check her out. And I am using all things ThermOWeb today. So I am pulling out my Easy Cut adhesive here, and I am just applying a piece of that to a sheet of smooth white cardstock. I've cut it down to 6 by 6 because that's about the size of the Easy Cut adhesive, and I have peeled off the backing of one side and placed that down on my cardstock. And then I've done some die cutting here with some Elle Studio dies, and I've cut the number 3 out a whole bunch of times, and I am actually going to foil these with some Deco foil. So I'm laying these out here just to see how much foil I'm going to need. I want to cut a little bit extra just so that I have enough room. You want the foil to completely overlay whatever you're foiling. So I'm peeling off the other backing piece off of the adhesive in my cardstock, and I am just placing these all down. And they are different directions, but don't worry, it's the number 3. It's flipped upside down a couple times, so whenever I peel them off, they will be all the right ways. So I was having kind of a dumb moment, I guess, whenever I was doing the die cutting. I thought, this 3 is upside down or backwards or something, and it's because it's the same both ways, but I couldn't figure that out at first. So here I've ran my foiling through my laminator, my hot laminator, sandwiched between a sheet of craft and carrier sheet, and I have all my beautiful number 3s. They're all foiled and ready to go now. So this is going to be my layout and how I'm going to lay everything out on here with my photos. Got two photos of my actually both my boys are in this photo, but it was of my one son turning 3 years old back in February, and I have pulled out this collection by Elle Studio as well, and this one's called the Adventure one. So I'm just going to use a couple of these papers from this pack that I have left, and I am using the green one that kind of looked like a grid paper or lined paper, and I've used the section of it that had the lines on it to map my photos with, and I've just roughed up the edges with my edge distresser. If you don't have one, you can use the edge of your scissors as well. And then I'm just using some easy tear tape here to actually place that down onto my layouts. I'm not sticking this down directly to my cardstock right now. I want to do some stamping first. So I did pull the backing off, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I want to do some stamping on here before I actually lay those down. So I just kind of set them aside for now. I'm pulling out this number 3. This is the Outline Jumbo Alpha set from Elle's as well. And I'm using some black Archival ink, and I am just stamping some number 3 outlines below where my other foiled ones will sit. I just wanted to kind of mimic Kat's layout. She had them stamped onto her layout, but she had the outline stamp and then the full colored stamp. So she just stamped all of hers, but since I've foiled mine, I still want that to kind of peek through a little bit. So I'm just staggering them so that that just peeks out around my foiled number 3s. So I'm just using my Memory XL tape runner to actually adhere them down to my page. I've got 4 of them now. The other one, the 5th one, isn't going to have a stamp under it, but that's okay. I kind of wanted one to be a little bit different, so I left that one alone. And then I'm going to use another stamp set by Elle's with these other cute little number 3s just to stamp all around my layout as well. And I'm using some Distress ink in Rustic Wilderness green for that one. So I'm sticking to like a green and yellow type of theme for this layout. My boys love John Deere, and his party was a John Deere tractor theme, so I wanted to stick with those colors. And then Kat's layout has some little sections here that had some torn paper and some pattern paper beneath it. Actually, I think hers was solid colored paper, but I'm going to use pattern paper for mine. So I've just cut down this section of lined pattern paper from that same collection, the Adventure one by Elle's, and I'm just going to tear up my edges, and I'm going to rough them up a little bit with my fingertips, and then I'm going to place sections of this down in behind here, and I'm just using my tape runner again just to adhere that lightly behind my section there that I've torn out. And then later I'll go in with my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher stapler, and I'll add some staples to that as well, just like Kat did. So I really, really loved her layout. I was very inspired by it. I've been wanting to do one like hers for a long time. So this layout was just perfect for this. And these number 3s just really begged to be foiled to me. And I love how easy it is to foil things with that easy cut adhesive. You just put it onto some cardstock for some structure and thickness, and then you die cut it out and just run it through your hot laminator. I just love it. It's just so easy and quick, and you can even use it with like a manual die cutting machine too. So anything that adds pressure, I believe, will transfer that foil design right onto it. So here I'm just doing some stamping. This is the birthday tab set, and I'm just stamping around my layout. I believe this is actually the same stamp set that Kat used on hers, but she used a different stamp. And I am just stamping some little phrases onto mine, and I'm just trimming off that number 3 from the bottom of my layout that's overhung on the bottom. And then I'm just using some of this easy tear tape to tape down these tails of my baker's twine that I'm going to wrap around my layout. I didn't want to wrap it the whole way around because I don't want to waste a lot. You'd never see it behind there, so I'm just taping off the tops and bottoms behind my layout so it actually just looks like it's wrapped around, but it's really not. So the easy tear tape actually has that backing piece on it, of course, that you can peel off, and it's double-sided then, but I am not using it that way. I'm just using it a different way today, kind of like some Scotch tape. So I've chosen 2 different colors of baker's twine, and I've wrapped them around in 2 lines in kind of some different directions just to give it some dimension there. And I just love how that looks on there. I think Kat did a great job with that. It was a wonderful idea, and I just really love it. So yeah, so I did the same thing. So 2 different colors on that. This is the last one going down now. I love how easy that easy tear tape is to use. It really is easy, just like the name of it. I like the 1/2 inch size myself. That's usually what I pull out and use. So here I'm actually going to put my photos down now. I did find that I needed to use some of the jumbo tape roll in the 3D foam to pop this up on the edges because it is popped a little bit in the middle from all of that twine being under there. So I just added a couple strips of the jumbo tape underneath just to pop that up on the sides as well. And here, as you can see, I'm just getting out my Tiny Attacher by Tim Holtz. It's just a little stapler just to staple down those edges. I thought I needed a couple more of these little yellow kind of like confetti stars on this layout, so I just stamped a couple more, and I used mustard seed distress oxide for those. And then I'm going to work on my title here. So I've pulled out some of the Jane alphabet stickers and some of the puffy stickers. They're both by Elle Studio again. Pretty much everything I'm using on this today is ThermOWeb and Elle Studio. And I am just putting my title down. And I was cracking up whenever I was putting this on here because I thought, I don't know if you guys have seen that Geico commercial that used to be on with the pig hanging out the window, and he said, "Wee, wee, wee," you know, just like a little pig squealing. That's what this reminds me of. And I mean, he was walking around and saying, "Wee, I'm 3," so it's just perfect for this title. And my kids seriously give me the best content to scrapbook, because they're always just saying so many funny things, and that "we" in here just makes me really think of that commercial. It just makes me crack up every time I think about it. So that's my title. I'm gonna put "Wee, I'm 3," and I'm gonna put gold letters for the 3 so it stands out a little bit more. And yeah, so I'm just gonna finish placing that down. I don't need to reinforce it or anything because it is pretty sticky, and I feel pretty confident that those letters are gonna stay on there with no problem. But if I did want to reinforce it, I would be grabbing my Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. It would be really good to do that, which I do grab here in a moment. I'm actually going to add a bunch of sequins to this layout, and I'll use my Ultra Bond liquid adhesive for that. So here I'm just pulling out a little sticker. It says "Hugs and Kisses." They were hugging each other. My older son was having a happy time helping my younger one celebrate his birthday here, so he was giving him lots of hugs and kisses, so that's just perfect for there. Then I'm just pulling out some other embellishments that I have from other collections by Elle's, and I have these cute little stars and hearts here. I'm going to pull off some of the green stars here and place around my layout, just gonna scatter them. Kat had some white ones as well, which I loved, but I had some white ones, but I just didn't feel like it went with the vibe of this layout. So I don't usually do kind of tone on tone with white, so I wanted to stick with my greens and yellows and things like that. So I'm just adding little bits from this sticker sheet, and then I'm going to move on and see what else I can find here. I really like that little star, but I was having trouble finding where exactly I wanted to place it, so I ended up keeping it there. And then I really like these little, these are what I call confetti stars. They kind of match the stamp set that I was using in yellow, so I just pulled a couple of those, and I'm going to place those down on this layout too. They're just so cute. So I'm going to put that away, and then on to my sequins. I am just pulling out a sequin mix called Tumbleweed by Spiegelmom Scraps, and I'm using my Ultra Bond liquid glue for that. It dries super clear, so you will never ever see where you put this glue, and it dries pretty quick too. So by the time I'm actually done, like, with this layout and filming and everything, they're completely dry, and by the time I take the photos of the layout after I kind of put things away and clean up my desk, they're all dry and they're clear and you can't see any of the glue. So I love this glue for putting these sequins on. It just works so well and it holds up really nicely over time. So mine does sometimes clog up on the tip though, so I keep a corsage pin nearby just to unclog the tip. So here's the finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this process today. If you have any questions about anything I did or used, go ahead and put that in the comments and I will answer you. And thank you guys so much for being here and for watching. So I hope I've inspired you to create something beautiful, and have a great day. Bye-bye.